In this video, I'll be doing two things. First of all, I'll be showing you how to hook up and use a PTO wood chipper on the back of a tractor and how we use that to get rid of some of the unwanted, scraggly trees and bushes here around our cabin in the woods. I'll also be talking about how our family mixes the cabin in the woods lifestyle with technology in certain areas, like with the wood chipper you're going to see in action, and why, unlike a lot of wilderness enthusiasts, we find that adopting technology rather than rejecting it makes sense. This video is going to heavily feature my dad, Steve Maxwell, showing me how to mount a PTO wood chipper to the back of our old 1974 International tractor. He'll be going through the technical details. That's something I've only done once or twice, so he was kind enough to give me a refresher course. And later in the video, I'll show me actually using this wood chipper to turn some of the dead, scraggly bush around our place into wood chips and help make it a little more yard-like, slightly more civilized, although not anything like a fully refined urban yard by any means. And while we show this process, I'm going to be talking about how and why I've adopted certain technology into our cabin in the woods lifestyle here. When you search for cabin in the woods and cabin related content on YouTube and Google, what I usually see is people doing some pretty interesting anti-technology sort of things. You know, building log cabins from the ground up with hand tools and then, lighting a little fire in one and warming themselves and that sort of thing. And I find that kind of content really cool, actually. As a matter of fact, there was a fairly long period of time in my life when I thought that's exactly how I was going to spend the majority of my adult years. Rejecting technology, living a very simple, wilderness-based lifestyle that did not involve things like tractors and wood chippers and laptops and iPhones or YouTube channels or anything like that. Now, obviously, plans have changed, and this video highlights that. And I want to explain why I personally have chosen to mingle certain technology, like this PTO wood chipper and tractors and laptops, into our cabin in the woods lifestyle. And one reason is that this place and this lifestyle is our full-time gig. For my wife and my daughter and myself, we live in the cabin I built in the woods full-time. It's not a little retreat for us. It's not a hunt camp that we spend a few weeks at a time in and then return to our fully modern lifestyle. We've chosen to make this our full-time home, and we rarely travel or go anywhere. So incorporating certain technology allows us to create a nurturing environment for our daughter, allows us to have a reasonably comfortable life on our own terms, rejecting the things we want to reject, like traffic and cities and a traditional job and the suburbs and factories and high-rise buildings, but embracing other things that can actually enhance our lifestyle here in the woods, like this old tractor and the wood chipper now mounted to the back of it. Dad's finished attaching the wood chipper now, as you can see, and he's parked the tractor, and here I am getting on the tractor, starting it up, and I'm going to be using that wood chipper to reduce different scraggly bits of tree and bush that I've cut down that are lying around our cabin into wood chips. And one reason that this is a really useful thing for us is that the forest around here is so thick and dense that if you just walk into it, you're not going to be able to move around very easily at all. I mean, the clearings you see here have been created by us to be able to use the property and enjoy it and move around and move tractors and vehicles and things if we need to. But in its natural state, this part of the forest is really thick, as you can see on the left and right here in this clip. So that's why thinning things out a little bit, cutting back the scraggly, less healthy balsams and cedars and spruces and poplars and turning those into wood chips makes sense for us so that we can enjoy the forest and the woods lifestyle and our cabin in those woods without feeling like we're completely hemmed in, without, rejecting the ability to walk around freely. I used to cut down those scraggly trees and drag them out and, burn them in the campfire and things, but that took a long time and a lot of effort. So this PTO wood chipper really made things a lot easier for us, and you can see how I'm using it here, just one at a time, feeding in the dead unwanted wood into the chipping chute, and the chips are just flying out of the top chute in a matter of seconds. This is the sort of thing that makes a modern homesteading lifestyle of the sort that we've tried to foster possible and practical. One thing that I've noticed with a lot of aspiring cabin in the woods people who maybe live in a city or the suburbs or something, but have a dream of doing something like what we're doing, is that they will often have this wholesale rejection of technology in mind, to do things extremely simply and to not use any gas engines or tools like this wood chipper, and certainly not to make use of the internet or computers. Maybe they've done all that in their modern life and they're sick of it, and they are reacting against it in their aspiring cabin lifestyle. But the reality is, nature can be tough to deal with sometimes, and if you've lived in nature for any length of time and tried to have anything like a modern, comfortable lifestyle among nature and in the woods, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Technology like this wood chipper and like the laptop or the phone that I used to make this video, it allows us to marry our cabin in the woods, nature-loving side with the practicality needed to exist in this modern world. And for a long time that compromise bothered me, but it doesn't anymore, because I have a daughter to think about now, and I have a wife to keep happy and comfortable. And I find that technology like this wood chipper and other things enhances our cabin in the woods lifestyle rather than detracting from it. So I hope you found this interesting. And more importantly, I hope you found it inspiring, so that if you have cabin in the woods aspirations that you want to put into action one day, that hopefully you've realized you don't have to reject technology to enjoy this sort of lifestyle. In fact, not rejecting technology will make your lifestyle in the woods a whole lot better.